I want to talk about today yoga and your nervous system. I think that one of the myths or the reasons that yoga can be dismissed is it's just like, oh, that's something that people do to like just get their zen on, or just for calmness or peace, just as if that's not important. But I think it's deeper than that. Besides providing so much core strength and stability. Yoga really does balance your nervous system and bring you into that space of true peace and centeredness. And this affects your overall health. One of the things that we are constantly living in, so many of us, is stress. There's so much stress and anxiety, and what this is a fight or flight reaction. So evolutionarily, we have this fight or flight response to help us survive. So if a bear is chasing after you, your fight or flight response kicks in, and this means all your blood supply and your energy pulls into your arms and your legs because you're trying to run really fast and get away. But that means that that blood supply and that life force energy is not going to your digestive system because you're not trying to digest your sandwich, you're trying to run away. It's not going to your reproductive organs because you're not trying to create new life. Again, you're just trying to run away. And ordinarily what should happen is after you've successfully escaped from the bear, that your nervous system goes back into balance, into its homeostasis place, and you step out of that fight or flight reaction. That's an inflammatory reaction. The thing is, so many of us are chronically stressed today that we are chronically in some version of a fight or flight response. And this is why we're seeing abounding digestive disorders and fertility problems and all sorts of other things, because the other organs of your body are not being cared for as well because we're in that inflammatory, just get away from the bear type of state. And the thing that yoga does for us is it brings that essence of calm. It rebalances the nervous system. And so not only does this bring you into a place of peace in your spirit, in your soul, in your mind, whatever you want to call it, help reduce anxiety on that level, but it has profound physical health benefits beyond that. The nervous system, of course, is also linked to our spinal cord, and so I just want to touch on that a little bit about how we navigate that safely in yoga. So oftentimes you'll hear in yoga teachers talking about tucking your chin slightly. And we're not just saying this because we feel like saying it, but because that helps protect your cervical spine, your neck. And what's happening in that neck there is that from your brain, the messages it's sort of coming down into your brainstem and down into your spinal cord in that place in your neck. And so it's so important to protect it and care for it. So that's what we're always talking about, keeping your neck long in different places. You'll often hear yoga teachers also talk about elongating the spine, really rooting if you're sitting, let's say, rooting your sit bones into the earth and by pressing down, allowing the rest of your spine to lengthen. When we do a forward fold from standing or even sitting, it's always about lengthening your entire spine, tucking your chin slightly, keeping that spine long, and folding from the hip points rather than sort of hinging forward and allowing your shoulders to come forward and bending at the waist, because we want to protect that spinal cord. We often see, you might be familiar with the bones of the spine, and we think that's everything. But what really those bones are there is just this protective barrier for the spinal cord that is within them. And the spinal cord is that sense of life force, because what happens is the brain extends into the spinal cord. So all the messages from your brain go into the spinal cord, and then the spinal cord descends out into all these nerves. You have nerves reaching every single cell in your body. And so the spinal cord is your messenger. It's how anything is communicated in your body, how anything really functions in your body. And so yoga really works to create strength in the core muscles to help stabilize the spine. And even to do yoga safely, we really want to focus on that length in that spinal column, creating not sort of bending it in the improper ways, pinching a disc or anything like that. So I encourage you to really tune in next time you take a yoga class, to maybe tune into the cues that the yoga instructor is saying, and notice when she's telling you to lengthen your spine or he's telling you to lengthen your spine, and sort of have a new appreciation for it. And also recognize that if you continue to have a regular yoga practice, to see how that not only affects your peace of mind, but the vitality of your entire body and all of your organs. So I hope you give it a try.